So the first thing I have is just like everyone, thank you. Thank you specifically. My partner and I are both vegan, and well, we've been on 6 times now, and each time it seems like it has gotten a lot better. And this year is just fantastic. So thank you very much for that. Very appreciated. The question I had was regarding crafting. My partner is a huge crafter, was very excited at the extensive crafting schedule, has had difficulty sometimes, like having to show up an hour early or more to possibly get in. Some of it I know was due to supplies. There were some limitations there, and that obviously the person who's doing it can only bring so much. Makes sense. But it seemed like the space was, well, I went up there. It's not, I was surprised it wasn't larger. I understand, obviously, based on the earlier discussion, space is at a premium. I was just surprised given that it seems like crafting is for me personally, I'm not big into crafting, I enjoy it, but it seems like it's a big part though on the community of the ship. And a number of people have talked about not being able to, or being discouraged from even trying based on this. Is there can anything be done?
Well, every year we take careful measurements of how many people are participating in which things, and that always goes into how we configure things in the future. And it's great to hear this feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely right that it's always. I mean, space is a premium, and we have to fit stuff in where, and not every space works for the same kind of event. So it's a real puzzle. But that feedback is important, and we have a whole team that goes around the ship with clickers and reports and all sorts of charts and graphs. So all that stuff does figure into our planning and will figure into our planning for next year. I can't speak to the specifics, but
I can say, for example, we try and work with the crafting team. They have been trying to expand the number of classes that don't, sometimes they have to take place in that space because it is set up such that if there are materials that are sticky or paint or things like that, there's only so many spaces we can put those events in. But things that aren't necessarily limited to that, they've expanded a few more where we'll be able to put it in like the main dining room where more people can attend and participate. Some of it is, as you say, sort of supplies limited and just the limits of being able to teach a certain number of people or whatever it is. Again, we are. This is not set in a scolding way. We are well aware of the fact that there is a great demand for crafting, certainly for the classes more than we are currently able to accommodate. We're always trying to find ways to fix that. But as we say at the same time, if we're taking space for crafting, we are taking space away from some other element, and we're always trying to keep that balance. That said, you're not afraid to express your opinions, crafters, regarding availability, and that's wonderful, and keep doing so. But just also understand, to a certain point, there's only so much space. We're not a crafting cruise, let's say, in which point we could take everywhere. But we will continue to work to try and accommodate your needs and wants and requests, and we do appreciate your asking, and we apologize in advance to the extent we can't meet those. But believe me, you're not the first person, and we understand it. We wish we could expand that space up there by fourfold for you, but we'll continue to try and work to keep things.
Maybe permanently reclaim the Fox News thing that you took over for the simulcast.
Oh, yeah.
That space could be used otherwise in the future.